I live in an apartment block in South Brisbane on the Kurilpa Peninsula, and it's a complex development in that it's spread across 3 hectares of land on a podium, so the whole of that 3 hectares is over a basement, and it has 10 buildings and was built over 3 stages and has 331 apartments and over 700 residents. So it's complex and a challenge when you're in an emergency situation. Our experience through 2 floods in Brisbane, one in 2011 and then 11 years later in 2022, was almost identical. Our 3 hectare basement car park flooded in both scenarios, taking out all our essential services, and then flooding tons of personal possessions, and about 30 to 40 cars were lost as well. So it was pretty catastrophic. I pulled together a team of practicing and semi-retired and retired professionals. We're very lucky at our complex in that these people came forward and helped us understand what our problem was, and then tried to mitigate any future issues that we might have. So what we found was that in 2022 the failure of our building was exactly as it was in 2011, so the same thing happened. So we, this team of professionals that we put together, assessed our building. This knowing your building is so important. So many body corporates don't understand their building, and that's not a criticism of them, it's just this handover from professional developers and so on to body corporates is quite weak. So understanding your building, how it functions and how it functions in an emergency is really important, and it's quite difficult to do. Sometimes you're going to need specialist advice from hydraulic engineers and so on. But we were quite fortunate in that we had professionals that could help us determine what the answers were. So after we had assessed our building and worked out how it was failing and why, we then put together a schedule of works, which we've been doing over the last 2 years. They're almost complete now, and we sit here in early 2024, and that predominantly is making sure that we've got backup power supply, because our power supply at our buildings got cut without notice to protect the broader network. So backup power supply and also flood barriers to prevent overland flow getting into our property. Those works, as I said, are substantially complete, and we are now making representations to our insurers to see whether we can reduce our premiums, because our building is now more resilient.